For there will be a shift on the island as the biggest grilling fest in Grenada moves to the big parish. The Maggie King of the Grill competition is at Progress Park, St. Andrew. Come taste the most sumptuous creations from the grill as top chefs and food enthusiasts showcase their culinary skills. Maggie King of the Grill is a festival like no other with live soca music, fun attractions, and games for the entire family. Then from 6 p.m., get a chance to win up to $5,000 cash in bingo. Interested vendors and grillers should call 456-3454 to register. It's the Maggie King of the Grill competition at Progress Park, St. Andrew. Gates open from 12 noon. Bring your appetite and stay tuned to this station for more details.
Maggie King of the Grill.
What if you had a choice? A choice of joining a line or a choice of making your purchases online? What would you choose? While you ponder on that, the National Lotteries Authority has provided another purchasing option. All their games are now available online. Yes, Grenadians! From wherever you are, purchase your favorite daily and jackpot type games using any electronic device. Register on the NLA's website at www.nla.gd. Top up your account and enjoy online lottery gaming at your convenience. We're taking shopping comfort up several notches. But the choice is yours. Join a line or buy online. NLA, make your dreams come true.
Yeah. Welcome to Ride Along Live for today. It is Monday. Oh. Very early today. Jane, I see you. Good evening. Paula. Yeah, welcome to the Ride, guys. Interesting Monday, I call it. Right now we're in Grenada because we're here for a tourism conference. It's a eco-friendly tourism conference, sustainable tourism conference. And you know, of course, Ryde is a part of that eco-friendly transportation on the island. So it's important that we were here, and it was an amazing day inside the Radisson. Yeah, Grenada, we're here. We're back again. Lydia, how you doing? Share, guys, because you know what's going on with Facebook, right? All you know what's going on with Facebook, I explained it before. Yeah, they have this thing that they have us on, Jed. They say all you share all your own thing to all your own people. We don't help in all you out. All you do what all you want. Yeah, voila. Interesting topic, guys. So we're going to talk about this very important and very timely topic. Today, as you guys know, or if you don't know, now you know, it's Earth Day, right? And many different economies, guys, are moving into the direction of the legalization and decriminalization of marijuana. Now, we all know that marijuana has been an illegal substance or deemed an illegal substance for many years. Many of you probably know someone who was arrested and charged and probably still locked up for marijuana, right? Now, in recent times, we have the Caribbean region almost lagging behind the other parts of the world, even though it is a fact, and they said that the more potent kind of weed comes in from the Caribbean, St. Vincent, Jamaica, Grenada, you know what I mean? But it somehow seems like the other countries have leaped ahead, the bigger countries now, the United States, the Canada, have leaped far ahead in terms of benefiting financially from marijuana. So today we have with us a lawyer, but he's not just a lawyer, he's a veteran attorney here on the island. He's a criminal attorney, but he represents on many different levels. He's very well known for his stance on maritime issues, right? he's lending his voice to the topic of marijuana he's been doing it for a while, but he's more vocal now. I'm happy to welcome on the program someone that I consider a friend and a legal advisor on the topic and many other topics. Of course, Mr. Anslem Clouden. Mr. Clouden, could you hear me?
Oh, I'm hearing you loud and clear. I'm so grateful and thankful for your kind introduction. But as you have rightly said, the topic is of pressing and urgent necessity to be discussed throughout the length and breadth of the Tri-Island state. Because I predict in about 6 weeks we should make certain amendments to the Principal Act, the Drug the Drug Prevention and Control Act.
Right.
So that's where we are, and there's a committee now established by the government, sanctioned by the cabinet, to introduce certain measures. The life of the committee extends to October, 6 months. I've been elected to chair the committee, which comprised a group of professionals. Dr. Charles, he deals with the health aspect on the committee.
Right.
We have Mr. Lazarus, she deals with the public relations that would get the message to the population at large as to the benefits, not only medicinal, but economic. This is
Right.
quite a potent industry. 5 billion in Canada. Germany just published their records. It's about $2.5 billion the economy gets as a consequence of decriminalization. We well know what happened in Colorado. In Canada, it's about $5 billion industry, creates tremendous employment. And at home, it's in Vincent, it's millions in St. Lucia, where it's decriminalized, in Antigua, where it's decriminalized, in Barbados, where it's decriminalized. Most countries now have moved in that direction because of its medicinal value, medicinal curative value. The world has accepted it scientifically. Now, there are certain restrictions, of course, and there must be. Persons under the age of 18 must be prohibited from smoking, just as they are prohibited from smoking cigarettes and drinking alcohol. When you attain the age of majority, maybe between 18 and 21, the scientific evidence seems to point in the direction that it's not necessarily harmful. While everything would be harmful if taken in excess. But Dr. Sanjay Gupta on CNN, speaking of weed, 1, 2, and 3, he has made it, and he's a noted world-renowned neurologist, that in the ages 25 and up, has experimented in Israel for Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, cancer, what have you. It's a potential curative. What behind, but the committee, I expect to have some amendments done within the next 6 weeks to ease the pain that the whole act, the principal act, the Drug Prevention and Control Act, has visited upon innocent persons.
Okay, so
both from a medicinal and a recreational standpoint.
Right. I want to talk about the benefits and the effects, some of which has been deemed as harmful effects of marijuana, right? Well, first, I'm trying to understand, why is the Caribbean so far behind in terms of legalizing marijuana when we have these other bigger countries who sometimes even get the marijuana from us, and they're the ones initially who put the pressure on the Caribbean to legalize, to criminalize marijuana. Why are we so far behind in that decision?
Because you see, we put the wrong people to lead us. I just saw a program with Patrick Lumumba. We put the worst to lead us. And
Right.
unfortunate for Grenada, thank God, we now have a visionary prime minister, a young, well-seasoned lawyer, one of the best we have had in the corporate area of law and civil law. But the guy's a thinker, he's a visionary. And this is why, having regard to his own knowledge on the subject, he made it a policy platform issue to
Right.
decriminalize and legalize, because decriminalization first, as a first step, and that's what we are moving to with great alacrity and with all deliberate speed. The same remains. Persons over 18 can recreate and use it medicinally on a limited basis, because there will be regulations accompanying the amendment under sections 12 of the act itself, the principal act. The minister can promulgate certain regulations in order to regulate its use. So, indeed, the studies show, and Germany has come out with a comprehensive scientific study on it. And
Go
they're
back.
saying, look, the youth, if it must be prohibitive around younger people.
Right.
Even if it's going to be administered medicinally, as
Yes.
was done on the weed one, that case from New Jersey, that eventually the parents had to travel to Colorado and to get the proper um, combination of the herb to treat epilepsy. This young child was having convulsions, multiple convulsions in any one day. But in New Jersey, it was prohibitive. You couldn't
Right.
consume it, just as it is here in Grenada now. So they traveled to California, in particular Colorado, where they prepared the proper dosage and for convulsions decrease, epilepsy decrease, to the point where there was none for up to her adult or teenage years.
Right.
So it is scientifically acclaimed to be a cure. Look, certainly a treatment. In Israel, they have done tremendous study. And you will see, especially with respect to Parkinson's and Alzheimer, a guy would be shaking, his pipe in hand. He loads his cannabis into his pipe, he smokes, and in 20 minutes, his hands are normal. He no longer shakes, um, uncontrollably. So that's the virtue of the herb. Now, it is also scientifically um, concluded that if teenagers and young people under 18, sometimes they say between 21 and then 18 and 21, it has a negative effect with respect to memory. But it's not something you can overdose on. You can never overdose on cannabis, but it affects the young mind, and therefore regulations would be in place, as is the case in most countries, Canada, Germany, Australia, to regulate its use and prohibit its use among non-adults. And that is clear. And this is why Dr. Charles is on the committee to make recommendations. But the scientific evidence is all around us. So we have to move with great speed to benefit from the medicinal aspect of production and export. That's where the development money is going to come from. That's where the revenue stream is going to come from. It's in the medicinal cannabis. And it's a multi-million-dollar business with billions of dollars in return, revenue-wise.
Right. Okay, Lydia is making a statement there. Oh, before I read Lydia's statement, is it possible you could pull your phone a little bit back because it's really close to your face? It's extremely
Okay, very
close.
well.
Yes,
Oh,
no
I'm
problem.
so sorry. Is it okay now?
Yeah. So
Is
just
it
bring it
better
down
now?
It's a little bit better. Yes, it's perfect now. It's better now. It's better now. That's good. That's perfect,
Great.
right? Perfect. So
Good.
Lydia is asking the question that I'm sure a lot of other people are asking as well. She's saying justification. She can't see putting smoke into your lung and that being okay. Is there certain extract that could be taken out from marijuana that does not include you smoking the marijuana?
Of course it is. Of course there is. But look at an example. A lot of the infants that have epilepsy and other childhood diseases, they're given it intravenously through um, oils or liquids.
Right.
And you don't have to smoke it. You can use it in tea, in cookies. It's not only smoking. It has a multiplicity of uses and preparations. So if smoking affects you, then you don't smoke. You take it into, you can take it through a tea, or you can take it in cookies or in your bread, whatever. You don't have to smoke it to get the effect,
Right.
medicinal or recreational.
Right. How do you, or is it a myth to say that marijuana or the overconsumption, the overuse of marijuana would make a person sort of lazy lazy, and would that affect work productivity? Do you think?
Yeah. Well, let me tell you two things. One, before I answer that question, and I'm only responding based on the scientific evidence I have acquainted myself with.
Right.
Now, one, when the AIDS was rampant and
Uh-huh.
people were just losing weight to skin and bones, marijuana, when consumed, was able to open the appetite. One of its curative effects is if you eat a lot of it, or if you smoke a lot of it, or not, if you smoke, it opens your hunger sensitivity. So you want to eat. And this is how a lot of persons who had come down with HIV and then graduated into AIDS, they took marijuana to help them along the path of putting back flesh on their bones.
Right.
Now, asthma, people with asthma. Um, it used to be that you had to smoke it, and because of its curative propensities to open the bronchial tubes when you take it in. This is why it's a treatment for asthma, and some people are cured from it. It's
Right.
well known, it's documented, because it opens the bronchial tubes and it makes breathing easier. Now they've put it into a spray, so you can spray it in, and it has a like effect. Similarly, with Cansol in Jamaica, this was produced for a good many years. The FDA at the time didn't approve it, but it is still produced and used um, by way of eye drops, Cansol, and you drop it in the eye, and what it does is it diffuses the pressure in persons who suffer from glaucoma.
Uh-huh.
You understand? So it has a multiplicity of values. Persons suffering from diabetes, persons suffering from erectile dysfunction, it helps in a multiplicity of ways. And I commend it medicinally for those ailments. And that's only to name a few.
Right, right. In the legalization of marijuana, again, if you just started watching, guys, we're speaking here with Sir Anslem Clouden. He's the leading
Well, I'm
voice.
not a star, man. Call me comrade. Comrade
Comrade,
Clouden.
Comrade Clouden.
Comrade Clouden. They knight me and I wouldn't accept a knighthood. Because,
Okay.
I mean, that's a colonial, accolade, which I'm not comfortable with.
Okay. All right, comrade.
I
All right.
wouldn't accept. So call me Comrade Slumman or Comrade Clouden. That'd be
That's
better.
right. That's right, comrade. Who stand
They're
to
all
benefit?
great.
Who stand to benefit most in the legalization of marijuana, comrade?
Oh man, the poor man. The employment that it would create would be unimaginable.
Uh-huh.
And we are going to design our product and our statute in such a way that
Right.
people like the Rastafarians who have been there for their religious and sacramental purposes and also for their cultivation, recreational and medicinal, They would get the license. Look, man, this thing is for national development, so that the average underprivileged, hardworking Grenadians would be able to benefit because of the expansiveness of the industry. You need growers, you need packers, you need, a multiplicity of hands to ensure that the quality is attained for medicinal consumption. So, man, it's unimaginable the economic benefit that would come to the ordinary Grenadian.
Right. I see that you're getting a call there, comrade. If you could just decline that call really quickly. I see that you're getting a call.
Yeah,
Yeah, are you hearing me? Are you hearing me? Are you hearing me now?
yeah, I'm hearing you now.
Okay, cool. No
There's
problem.
something on the screen that's blocking me. I'm not seeing you, but I'm hearing you. I'm seeing part of you, part of it here. I'm afraid to touch it because I
Yeah.
have no help with me. And if I touch it, then it creates a problem here. I'll be
As long
out.
as you could hear me, I'm hearing you and I'm seeing you.
Very
A
good.
lot of people complain about the possibilities of the only people that might truly benefit after the implementation, the legalization of the decriminalization of marijuana, are those people who might be in position and might be eligible to receive permits or a special card to sell marijuana. What is the
No, man,
proposal
no.
that does not happen?
Well, look, we are in the course of making certain proposals to the government. But
Uh,
fortuitously, we have St. Vincent, our neighbor,
right,
and they have gone leaps and bounds ahead of us. And it's a regulated industry. So that those who grow marijuana for medicinal purposes, it's a confined environment. Better grown with greenhouses where it is subject to more environmental control. Um, so that they can plant it there. Then
right,
the average Grenadian that cannot afford a greenhouse may be able to plant one species for a particular ailment in his own land. No, my suggestion would be two. Government has a lot of lands. What we have to do is terrace because of our topography, where we
right,
are so mountainous, undulating plains and valleys. We have the equipment now. We could do terracing, and that would make more arable land available to the ordinary Grenadian to plant his own lot and plot. Because remember, it's not only medicinal, it's also recreational. And if we get going, it may eventually turn into being industrial, where you grow hemp or the male species of the cannabis plant.
right. So your proposal is not to have any implementation of a permit. So basically, anybody could plant it, anybody could grow it, anybody could sell it.
No, no, you have to be licensed.
The
No, not
license,
everybody can plant. It's the same
right,
thing as a farmer. You have to have your card. I carry my farmer's identification because you don't want, petty crimes being committed, larceny and all that sort of thing. It would be
yeah,
a properly regulated industry, just as Canada. And the good thing with us is, and we have Jamaica as an example, we have Barbados. The good thing with us, when we move in the direction of full legalization,
right,
we have a Commonwealth countries model. Canada has gone leaps and bounds ahead of the world. Australia is following suit now, another Commonwealth country. So uh, we have literature on which we can depend and advance. So much so, do you know that Jamaica imports marijuana from Canada?
Well, yeah. Well, I'm here.
And that's a fact.
Yeah, and it's a booming economy in Canada. We all know that. It's
Yeah, well, it would boom here too if we structure it properly, Junior.
yes, yes, yes. Again, guys, we're talking here to Comrade Anslem Clouden on the decriminalization and legalization of marijuana. Comrade, what about people that have been arrested and charged and doing hard time with a criminal record, can't get a visa, in the past, what would happen to their records? If
Well,
this,
what we're doing is, yeah, that would be part of the new dispensation. People who were convicted and have a criminal record for possession and, for that matter, trafficking, we would expunge that record when the legislation comes in to legalize. Now, evidently, if there are persons on the penalty of imprisonment and the like, we would expunge that record and give clemency. There would be an area of a period of clemency, so that the idea is, look, we have come of age, and there was a time when it was a narcotic and prohibited, and a lot of men went to jail. But look what's happening in Grenada now. Just about everybody smokes. Everybody knows that. You go anywhere. We have tourists coming in from Germany, where they have decriminalized it. Okay. We have tourists coming in from Canada. We have tourists coming in from England. We have tourists coming in from the world over, where they have decriminalized and legalized. If they
yes,
come in, and for whatever purpose, they may have gone to the doctors in St. Vincent, in Germany, in Canada, and with a prescription, they've been given access to maybe a quantity of cannabis or marijuana. They can travel with that to Grenada, because if they land on the airport and their baggages are searched and cannabis is found in it, automatically you go to prison, as it is now. Or the magistrate may fine you. And look at the inconvenience. He's coming from a country where it's perfectly legal. And this is why there's a fierce urgency in
yes,
getting it decriminalized now,
right,
so that our tourism would be more attractive to persons from those countries where cannabis has been legalized. So they can come in with a certain quantity you can stipulate and regulate. So when they get here, if they run out, we have the product, and it's well labeled and everything, and they go to the doctor. That's as in St. Vincent. And the doctor would tell them where to go, and a prescription would be written. This is an organized industry. And it's weed tourism also. So we are preparing to benefit in a big way
right.
from the industry,
What about,
notwithstanding we are in at a late stage.
yeah, very late. What about the situation as it relates to the United States and the federal crime? Because although marijuana is legal in states like New York and California and other states, it is still a federal offense,
That's
right?
right. So that if
Right.
you land on the airport in JFK, in LaGuardia, and you are searched, and customs find that you have a quantity of marijuana, they're going to lock you up,
Yes,
because on the airport, that's federal jurisdiction.
yes,
Okay, that's federal, and it's a narcotic on the federal statute.
yes,
Now, if you're in, say, California or in Jersey or in New York, um, in-state, not interstate, because if they catch you moving from one state to another, and the state that you're moving into is not a legal state in the context of this, then you would violate a federal law, because the federal government has jurisdiction over interstate commerce.
right,
So they
yes,
can apprehend you there too. But Canada is the best. When you enter Canada, they say, okay, declare what you're coming with. If you walk with a pound of cannabis, they would charge you. They tested right there, they evaluated, and they charge you a tax, because what you're doing is importing cannabis into Canada. So you pay the normal tax as you would import alcohol if you go in excess of 3 bottles. So the industry would be well regulated. It's not a variegated pattern of anarchy, do your own thing. You
I
do
see.
your own thing within certain regulated confines.
Right. What about people who wants to have this large consumption or large amount of marijuana and wants to deal marijuana? Is it a different regulation or a different statute that they would meet in trafficking?
Do not repeat that again, let me hear you.
Yeah, I'm saying, what about someone who is caught with a huge and excess amount of marijuana, a large amount of marijuana, like a dealer? They have thousands, pounds and pounds of marijuana. Um, is it that that person would have to apply for a different license in order to
No, no,
trade?
no. If they're caught with anything in excess of the license amount an importer could have, then they have to pay the difference. It's not a matter of going to jail because government has to derive a revenue. So if you come in, as is done in the past with 200 pounds of weed into Grenada, and right now you're found with that, you're going to jail. There's no doubt about it.
Right,
And just the other day they held up some boys in Poetry, you must have heard. And but the demand is here, and millions of dollars go to St. Vincent, and this is our main supplier. Um, this is why it's important for us to start growing our own and face the reality that 2/3 of the nation consume marijuana either for medicinal or recreational purposes. So when the new law is passed, if you come in with a quantity, you import a certain quantity in, you declare it, and if it's in excess of what is regulated, you pay the difference in taxes. You don't go to jail and get a criminal charge, as the case may be.
all right, I have a
Yeah.
question here. I have a question here. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? It has to do with pregnancy. The question is, how does the use of marijuana during pregnancy impact the fetal development of and long-term health outcome for children? Is that
What
being
is the
considered?
very well be? And then pregnant women ought not to smoke or use marijuana because it may just imagine if it's deleterious to young children. It depends on how it's consumed. It depends on a lot of things scientifically. I wouldn't venture to act on that, but out of an abundance of caution, a pregnant woman ought not to smoke. Maybe she could consume it as a tea or medicinally. Otherwise, it may indeed assist the fetus. But to smoke and so forth, the THC has a multiplicity of effects on the brain, development of the brain. And if, in fact, it affects the development of young people, teenagers, I have no doubt it may be um, bad for a mother. So that the regulations would prohibit her from smoking, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Is there a specific study that you know of that
Or a
the,
multiplicity of them, man, all kind of studies. The
yeah.
Germans just came out with one. That's why
Uh,
they passed laws. The Canadians have so much studies, man. The Americans too, certain states. This is why it's so medicinally engineered. Seeds are. There are studies and there are studies pointing to the pros and the cons, the effects, and the
right.
effects seem to be largely on young people under 18. It seems
Right.
be not to be productive and safe
Right.
unless it's administered for a certain treatment, and then you get to the CBD, which is
Yeah.
a different compound from the THC.
Right.
You
Right.
understand what I'm saying? Good
Yeah.
man.
And I
So
know you.
so the CBD may be
Yeah.
good for the child in the womb
Right.
because it's medicinal. Yeah.
Yeah. And I know you're not
It's,
a, I know you're not a doctor in the field.
no, I'm not a doctor. And I wouldn't venture. That would be a good question for Dr. Charles.
Yes.
So
Yes.
you
Yes.
could call him and tell him you're speaking with me and you would like him to discuss with you the health um, aspects, pro and con. That would be good. He's a member of the committee. And that's
Nice.
why he's on the committee to
Right.
advise the nation as to the pros and cons so that we know how we we protect the youth.
Yeah. What about
Yeah.
education? What about education? What is the idea behind informing the public about the use and misuse of marijuana before it is deemed legal or decriminalized?
Well, that's our job. That's what we're doing. This is why you're talking to me, Junior. We
Yeah.
we, we try, but it's all over the world. It's all on television. It's on BBC, CNN, CBS. It's on GBN. It's on St. Vincent Station. We all know, but we have a task. We mandated to explain it and take it to the Grenadian public. And I'm like a Christianizing mission to
Yeah.
make sure that all relevant information is being disseminated to the public at large.
Absolutely, absolutely, and we thank you for starting us off because I know there are a lot of questions. One of the things that
Yes,
I've seen,
ma'am.
one of the things that I see in New York, right, and by some it's a complaint. So marijuana is legal in New York, and on every other block you pass, Mr. Clouden, Comrade Clouden,
Yes,
there
ma'am.
there's a smoke shop.
I'm telling you, everybody smoking is good for the body, man. Look, I can't complain. But you know what is sad? To see how people embrace it. And you can't overdose in it. But
Right.
anything used in excess is not good. Moderation is the golden mean. And be moderate in all things. But man, look, this is a herb. This is a plant that the Lord has put here for healing. It's medicinal. Now, scientifically, you could capture certain compounds in it and the like, but you put it in your tea, you bake it, your leaves in your thing, and you get the same effect. It's curative, my brother.
Mm-hmm.
It's like soursop. You know, they didn't discover soursop was even better than chemotherapy until recently.
Right.
Oh, I'm telling you, it's
Yeah.
more potent and it literally cures cancer. Soursop, we export thousands of pounds to the United States. But it took the University of Columbia and the research thing to come up with it because the pharmaceuticals wouldn't want you to know that.
Right.
They
Yeah.
don't want you to know that guava and mango and these things are good. You take that, you have to take all this. I got methamphetamine and all this damn things that causing amputation and cutting out your foot. You see how much people lose their foot in Grenada?
Yeah.
All you have to do is use the natural things you have. Your soursop, your mango leaf, your
Yeah.
guava, the fruit. You come on, man.
Yeah.
You put your herb, you make your tea. That's why we are suggesting 5 plants for every household. You
I see.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about
Let's move on, man.
what about
Huh?
people who said that marijuana is a stepping stone drug? You would start with
That's
marijuana.
nonsense. Absolute nonsense. There's no scientific evidence to that effect. No scientific evidence whatsoever supporting that contention. As a matter of fact, the contrary is being said. That is not addictive, and you cannot overdose in it. It's
Right.
a herb, man. You know, and it
It-
doesn't go through any big refinement and everything
right.
like cocaine and these things. You could use it just as it is in its natural form, natural ferri, its
Yeah.
natural form. Yeah,
Yeah.
people are skeptical, but anyhow, it cannot be stopped now because the world is doing it. So, and there are benefits all over the world. You think Germany would do something inimical to the well-being of the citizens? Our own people go to Canada right now,
Right.
okay? And Canada has legalized it,
Yeah.
but no child under the age of 18 could smoke it. And if found smoking it, there are certain consequences
Right.
to follow.
Right.
So just as they protect children from alcohol and the use thereof, similarly they will be protected from cannabis until they reach a certain age where the science show that they can consume it. They can smoke it, But the contention is with the smoking. That's where people get they don't get too concerned about the CDB, the
Right.
medicinal aspect of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
A question just came in here, Clouden. And that question came from Gail. And she's saying, how does the legalization of marijuana contribute to the reduction of crime rates associated with illegal drug trafficking and distribution?
Well, the illegal drug trafficking is more cocaine and fentanyl and all kind of tablets and so forth. The marijuana, no illegal drug trafficking. They try to make it out that way, but that
Right.
doesn't contribute to crime. Alcohol is the main source of conflict in Grenada. Alcohol,
Right.
okay? The smoking of cigarettes has taken a toll on our health system because of its dangerous and addictive effect. It kills, all right? They still have it on the shelves. And you buy a pack of cigarettes, it tells you it kills.
Yes.
Smoking kills. Never hear anything say marijuana kill. You never hear anything that them all in the states, California, Colorado, Jersey, 30-something states of the Union, Canada. You never hear them say marijuana kills.
Right. I guess a lot
But
of
they tell
education.
you smoking kills, and they're still selling it. So I don't know what
Yeah.
they're making this hula baloo. Prohibit
Yeah.
the cigarette companies from producing cigarettes and tobacco in all its forms. And then talk about marijuana. See, this hypocrites.
Some
And the
people
thing
would
is so curative.
some people would say, or some people said that, in fact, I had a guest on the program about a month or so ago, and she was given a marijuana and she smoked it, but somehow it was laced with something else. It was mixed with something else. That
Well,
had a
Junior, don't even tell me about that. Once that mixed with something else, there would be a deleterious effect. You don't mix
yeah,
a pure drug that is in a certain um, status in terms of its THC component with cigarettes and all lacing with things. That's craziness. So I don't even want to hear what she felt and what happened to her because I
yeah.
expect that something very unusual would have happened. But
She
don't blame
became a,
marijuana for it. Yeah.
she became very addicted, and she couldn't get off of it until this day. She's became an
Well,
addict, or what's
that's
it
no
called?
problem. Whatever they mix it with, it's very addictive. Marijuana is not addictive.
Right, right.
That's the
All right.
scientific evidence.
We opening up the phone lines here to chat quickly with my brethren, good friend, comrade, Anslem Clouden on the topic of legalization and decriminalization of marijuana. The phone number that you call is 718-701-5720. That's 718-701-5720. So, as a lawyer, could you break down the difference between decriminalization and legalization for us?
Yes. Well, decriminalization is you have an act, okay? And
Right,
that act makes certain provisions for penalizing, it prohibits the possession
right,
of marijuana. And it visits you with serious penal consequences. If you're found in possession of it, you would go to jail or you would be fined heavily. And if you don't pay that fine, you go to jail.
right,
Okay? Cultivation, you can't cultivate it. Or if you're found with a tree planted in your garden, notwithstanding you have the migration of birds, and you can't necessarily restrict birds from dropping their droppings on your land, and they eat seeds. A few seeds
right,
may drop. I say all that to say, if the police comes to your farm right now as we speak and he finds 2 marijuana trees, he can charge you for cultivation, which carries a stiff penalty of 5 years imprisonment maximum or $250,000. For 1 marijuana cigarette in Grenada, no. You could be fined the maximum of $250,000, and you can go to jail for 5 years. It is not usually administered in that fashion, but it is administered in a sufficiently draconian manner that young people between the years of 18 and 25, and that's where the police target, that's the guys who smoke recreationally, they apprehend them with 5 marijuana cigarettes, a joint. The magistrate charged them $1,500. These are men, some of them young professionals just graduated from TAMCC. They're doing nothing. They're recreating among themselves. Come, police come. Boom, boom, they find that these young aspirants for professional and occupational activities character is now damaged significantly, that they can't go to university, you can't travel to countries, if their parents in Canada or the States sponsor them to come, they have a criminal record and they're not likely to be successful. We have put our people through sheer hell by these draconian laws. So decriminalization would say, look, we give you a certain amount of uh, personal possession for recreation. We
Yeah.
allow you to plant 5 trees for your tea and other such medicinal use. Um, and if you exceed that amount by X, we would give you a ticket which you have to pay. And there is no conviction. There is no conviction registered against you. You understand what
Right.
I'm saying?
Yes.
So that you pay a fine and you are able to continue your legitimate expectation of attending university and the like. I'm on a radio program. Where you want me to move? Well, well, hold on. Where are you?
Uh,
Okay, let me go back a bit.
yeah, no
Um,
problem.
where
Eh,
park here? I have to go back a bit to give them room to come out.
go ahead, do your thing. Do it.
Uh,
Open up the phone lines right now if you want to ask Mr. Clouden a question in regards to the legalization or decriminalization of marijuana, which is a burning topic right now, especially for this administration. And entire committee was set up to look at that very fact and the process in which it should be implemented. Now, people are asking questions. One of the questions that I just got, I'm going to pose to Comrade Clouden, it have to do with the. Okay, the question was how does the legalization of marijuana benefit individual in terms of medical treatment and pain management? Oh, he spoke about that already. Got another question here. What legal complication arise from driving under the influence of marijuana, particularly in states that legalize it? That's what we're going to get from Comrade Clouden as soon as he gets his stuff sorted. Comrade, how you looking there? Your park good?
yeah, the guy just moved now. Hold on. Yeah, I should be. Give me a moment.
Take your time. Take
Yeah.
your time. So 718-701-5720 is the number. Let us have this conversation right here. Now I see a lot of people saying, nah, that's gonna lead to a lazy community. That is not what we need to do in small countries like Grenada. There have to be a better way, right? For those of you who are not in support of legalization or decriminalization of marijuana, give us a call and let us hear your concern, your immediate concern on this matter. Do you think that, yes, they're saying that it could raise the GDP, it could increase the cash flow of the country. Agriculture could be at the top if we have legalization and decriminalization of marijuana. Export of weed, right? That's a whole new other pillar of the economy, quite possibly. Do you think that that is substantial enough to make that switch or to decriminalize? Back with Comrade Clouden. Comrade, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, good. So the question that someone asked here in the chat, the question have to do with, all right, yes. What legal complication arising from driving under the influence of marijuana, particularly in states that it's legalized? Or what are the legal complications arising
Well,
from driving under the influence?
well, no big legal complications necessarily. Just as a test the blood to determine how much alcohol is in a milliliter of blood. If you're under the influence of marijuana, I assume, I mean, that there will be a test improvised to determine whether you are under the influence of marijuana or not. Just as a
Right,
test to determine whether you're under the influence of alcohol.
right. Okay,
Well, the science
okay.
is moving on, you know. The science is moving on, and once it's legal, and if there are instances of impairment, because it affects different people differently, and there is evidence that in some instances, people with certain pre-existing conditions, it may adversely affect them, so
Right,
that you know, they don't maintain the compass.
right. So then, would a doctor prescribe marijuana to individual, or should the medical fraternity be involved now in prescribing marijuana?
Well, they do. They do in Canada. They do in St. Vincent, of course. But what I'm saying is, if you have after they test you, and it depends on your ailment, if you have a predisposition to a feeble-minded person,
Right.
then they may not be prescribed marijuana. And if you go
Right.
and take it otherwise without prescription and you're caught impaired, then you stand the consequences like everything else.
Right. Right.
Yes.
I support here for the decriminalization. She said, I support the decriminalization of marijuana and recreational reasons. It's already used in medicine. However, you need strict guidelines. 21 years and over should be allowed to smoke for recreational purposes. And
I
those
agree.
are,
And we have made that suggestion, although the international um, accepted age is 18. But as I say, if we wish to be prudent, we could put it up to 21 and put certain regulations in place. But remember, the average citizen votes at 18.
yeah, yeah,
Right? To look at the
yeah,
political fallout at
yeah,
21.
yeah.
Okay, my brother. So
Got
we
you.
have to be as wise as serpents and harmless like doves. Right?
Comrade, listen, great information here. I know there have been so many questions posted in the chat. I know you're doing so much work in educating the population. One of the things, as I said, that needs to be addressed is that in terms of education is the transportation of marijuana to borders. Like, in the U.S., it's a federal crime to even try to have this in your person coming in on the airport. So they have to be
Yeah.
that education to persons that you cannot do that. You cannot take marijuana on the plane or try to take it into territories where you deem that it is in fact legalized. What about in the Caribbean region? Would there be any restriction from taking it from Grenada, say going to St. Vincent or going to Barbados? Would there be any restriction moving to
Now,
borders?
once we legalize it, then we trade. That's the whole purpose.
Right,
Mercantilism. Once we legalize, then there's legislation governing export. So we can export it. St. Vincent exporting hundreds of thousands of pounds, tons to the European Union countries.
yeah, but I'm talking about that individual traveling between borders, traveling between Grenada and St.
Yeah, but
Vincent.
there are a certain amount that is stipulated for personal use. So you can travel within borders with your personal use. If you travel in excess of that, then if they don't seize it, they fine you, or you pay the taxes. The idea for economic development of the industry is not punishment anymore. It's
Right,
revenue. So
Right.
we have to see it in that context. The
Yeah.
legalization or decriminalization is for revenue. You come on the beach here now and you see how much of these young fellas making a hustle on the black market. But if the police come and apprehend them, all of them going to jail under the present legal regime.
Right.
And this is why I am moving with deliberate speed to decriminalize, so
Right.
that they don't suffer the specter and the scourge of being in possession and then face a conviction. And the
Right.
magistrates are saying, and this is notwithstanding the government policy, I find it repugnant. Sometimes you go to court with a young fellow, he's an IT man, he's a graduate of TAMCC, he's going home, and he has a little thing in his bag. Police say he looks suspicious. Search his bag, they find about a 5 marijuana cigarette, and there you go. He's pulled into the court. I had to beg and plead that a criminal record is not registered. So the alternative to that was a fine of $1,500 to be paid instantly. No, nobody walks to court. Forthwith, he said. Or if not, a conviction would be registered. So the mentality of us, notwithstanding the policy, and I don't know how far those in authority have reached, but the mindset hasn't changed. They're still punitive. There's nothing to be punitive about. People
Right.
smoke. Look, they have tourists. Where I'm sitting here now, I see about 5 tourists smoking right where they are. And I know they're being supplied with this, the dancing, some of them are having a grand time. If the police comes here now and see that and search, he can apprehend each and every one of them.
Hmm.
And the
Wow.
supplier on the beach could also be apprehended because the law hasn't been changed. And this
Right.
is why we need urgent decriminalization to provide for an easing so that when we finally legalize, we can work with some empirical evidence as to
Right.
how the black market operates, because government need the revenue. This
Right.
is how they'll be able to pay for education and bringing social um, welfare payments to the aged and the underprivileged, and build houses for the homeless. That's where the money's going to come from.
Yeah.
No, we
Someone.
don't have oil.
Yeah. Someone is saying that the Rastafarian community should be given some sort of amnesty in this regard because that's
Of
simply
course.
what I've been saying for many, many years, and have
Hmm.
been ignored and brutalized, censored, jailed
Of
in London
course.
for
Went
this.
to jail. I have defended the most of them. Went to jail. Ah, man. Denied bail.
Yeah.
6 weeks ago, a magistrate saying that the law is what it is. Mr. Clouden, I'll the most I can do is not register a conviction, but I'll fine him $1,500 for what, half a ounce of weed,
Mm-hmm.
IT man, with a prominent job. You know
Yeah.
what would happen then? Because every application, have you been convicted? And then they don't say how much you convicted of, a narcotic. That's it. And there your visa opportunity go down the drain, your university expectation go down the drain, and everything go down the drain.
Yeah.
I'm on a
Yeah.
program, man.
Yeah.
I don't.
We're
Yeah.
about to wrap. We are about wrapping up here, Comrade Clouden, on this
Yes,
on this matter
yeah.
of legalization and decriminalization of marijuana. What time frame we looking at?
Man, I'm looking at 6 weeks to decriminalize and another 3 or 4 months to legalize. So by October, I hope
Ah,
we within the guidelines the Prime Minister and the Cabinet has set, because it would redound greatly to us. And we would learn a great deal from our neighbor St. Vincent. 'Cause that's where all our weed comes from. The police raid every little plot they could find in Grenada.
yeah.
And we wonder sometimes why there is this upsurge in crime. It's a frustration, man. You know,
Right.
frustration. because people, I can't go anywhere. Everybody, boss, when this thing is going to happen, everybody trying to make a hustle. And that's the opportunity. Yeah. To supply good weed to our visitors who come from countries where it's legalized and want to get it here recreationally or medicinally.
Well, I guess a lot of people who sitting there and thinking of new business opportunities might start to think about the cannabis industry.
Of course, it's an industry, and
Yeah.
it's an industry that would create wealth for the nation, more so than oil and gas.
All right. Well, we're gonna check back within, you say, about six weeks or so. About three
Yeah.
by October, we should have some movement, some serious movement in the direction of decriminalization and legalization of marijuana. My good friend, comrade Anslem Clouden, thank you so much, my brother. I know your time is. I mean, listen, to have you on the program is a pleasure because you are wanted all over the world, man. You're in high demand.
Junior, it's always a pleasure, and I'm always so grateful and thankful when you bring me on, especially on a topic of great national importance,
Yes.
so that Grenadians would know where we're going and formulate their legitimate expectation for brighter days ahead
Yeah.
through the cannabis industry.
All right. Comrade, we'll keep in touch, all right? Thank you so much for your
All
time.
right, it's a pleasure. Thank you so much.
All
Good,
right.
good. All
Yeah, man.
right. Good, man.
Yeah, so that was Comrade Anslem Clouden on the decriminalization and legalization of marijuana. Guys, he's saying in about 6 weeks or so, we should see some serious legislative move in that direction. That's pretty soon, eh? That's pretty soon. We'll keep the phone lines open, guys, if you want to make a point on this topic. Are you for or against it? What are you saying? What are you saying? Do you think that the risk that we were taught for many, many years, they told us that this is going to do this is illegal drugs, this is all sorts of things that we were educated about marijuana. It seems as it was a miseducation because what we're hearing now is the complete opposite. Don't believe your lying ears that was said 10 years ago. So now it's okay to do it, right? Do you think that making the profit would or substitute all of those negative impacts that we were told? Do you think that the profit outweigh the benefits? 718-701-5720. Let us talk about this, the decriminalization and legalization of marijuana right here in the Spice Island. And it might mean a new direction for farmers because, hey, a lot of farmland, yeah? You might one day could go into the market, right in the market square in town here, and say, give me 4 of that. Then you walk over there and you see a big split. So yeah, give me 1 of that. And you just walk down the street and you just idly smoking it. Let us know. 718-701-5720 is our number. Let's take a quick commercial break and jump to the phone lines. We'll be right back. Don't move.
Are you ready for an exhilarating adventure? Then look no further than a Ryde excursion to the great outdoors like never before with our powerful e-bikes. Discover breathtaking sightseeing tours around the island. Feel the wind in your hair and experience nature in its purest form. Now, whether you're a seasoned rider or a beginner, our e-bikes are perfect for everyone. Call us at 473-422-1011 to book your excursion or visit ridersebikes.com. That's ridersebike.com to reserve your spot. Unleash your adventurous spirit with Ryde Excursions and Tours, where every journey becomes an unforgettable adventure.
Of sampling the Golden Jubilee edition of the limited edition spice rum from the Grenada distillers, and I must say it's something that you should try. It is authentically Grenadian, but from the flavors to the aromas to the overall taste, the blend is great. It's light, it's golden like the Golden Jubilee, and I think you can make any collector's shelves anywhere in the world. Hats off to the Greener Distillers.
Cathwell Stationery Services' unbeatable Easter Flash Sale. Imagine slashing your office costs without compromising on quality. Yes, you heard it right. For a limited time only, dive into exclusive deals like copy paper at just $18 per ream and up to 18% off on essential office and school supplies. From sleek laptops and tablets to vibrant markers and highlighters, from sturdy office furniture to the latest office machines, Cathwell's has it all. Don't wait. Call us now at 442-5848 or 435-2277 or drop us an email at cathwellsoffice@gmail.com. Hurry! The Easter Flash Sale is for a limited time only. Cathwell Stationery.
I want you folks to play these 3 games from the NLA. Daily pick 3 cash flow and play with. You will be supporting sports and culture, nation building and our future. So go out and play, folks, make it a must. You will see what the National Lottery is doing for us. When you play pick 3 cash flow and play with, the NLA will support you all the way.
Starting September 30th, Monday to Friday, these 3 games will be drawn mid-morning, 9:45 a.m., midday, 12:45 p.m., and evenings, 7:45 p.m. The National Lotteries, supporting sports, culture, and nation building.
Sunday money day.
Yeah. Again, guys, we in Grenada for the sustainable tourism venture. And we're happy to be here. What a great event today at the Radisson. And of course, on Sunday, we had this media breakfast there. So many media, global media on island right now, all getting a piece of Grenada and understanding that Grenada is leading the charge in terms of sustainable tourism, right? And we are happy, guys, to be invited here to speak on our strong platform as it relates to sustainable tourism. Because, of course, you remember, you know, that just about 3 months ago, we launched our Ryde excursion e-bikes, right? And if you're talking about sustainable, you're talking about Ryde. You're talking about transportation, you're talking about sustainable transportation and tourism, you're talking about Ryde. We saw recently, guys, that the price of gas, right, for your car and diesel has gone up. But we were able, and for the folks who utilize our service, understand that they are getting around much cheaper when they even rent our e-bike. So we're talking about sustainable transportation, we're talking about eco-friendly transportation, and we're talking about people who come in here because of the fresh air. Because when you ride and when you use any one of these bikes or any one of these things that is deemed eco-friendly or sustainable, you are leaving nothing but a footprint. And that's what you want. It's a cleaner atmosphere, it's a cleaner air. When people come off the airport and they smell, they could smell a difference than when they're in Manhattan or they're in London or where have you. So this is why we're here. And I'm happy to be a part of the sustainable tourism, sustainable transportation venture. And Ryde, again, leading the charge as it relates to e-bike services on the island. And a lot of people getting hip to it, guys. So if you are not yet hip to it, you want to rent an e-bike today, walk into our kiosk at the Esplanade Mall and get a bike. Listen, get a bike, hold it for a week, whatever. Get around quick and fast. Some people, they use half the amount of gas on diesel because you know what? They leave their car at home and they ride to work. Yeah, they ride to work, literally. They ride to work and ride back home with Ryde. And think about how much gas you're saving when you do that. For more information on how you could cut your cost of transportation half, especially now, gas prices going up so high, give us a call at 473-422-1011. That's 473-422-1011. And again, we are happy to be here to talk about sustainable means of transportation and how this could expand into even bigger ventures, right? And not only for the transportation sector, but it also employ. I mean, look, we just started just a few months ago, and we already employed about 7 to 10 persons on staff. That's full-time staff and people who are doing things and sustaining themselves and their family. So we're happy to be a part of that. And whenever you support Ryde, whenever you ride, you are also helping us to expand and create these opportunities for employment, for tour guides, for technical staff, for management staff, senior level staff. All these levels of staff are now permanent here at Ryde. And we thank you guys for supporting and being a part of this change. All right? Let me also pick up Geneva's Cafe. Geneva's, not her cafe. I don't know why I keep saying cafe. Geneva's Cottage, located in Woodlands area. Yeah, Geneva's Cottage, located in the Woodlands area. If you want to book a stay here at these superb, excellent, magnificent, amazing, all these words I could use to describe, you got to give Geneva a call today and book. The number that you call is 347-355-6305. That's 347-355-6305 and book today. Yeah. Also, guys, if you need t-shirt printing in New York, Instaprint New York offers a range of services, guys. A range of services. If you're in New York and you want to get t-shirt printed, a large quantity, small quantity, you want 1, you want 2, you want 3, give them a call today. Instaprint New York, 718-701-5720. If you're in Grenada and you want quick service printing, your t-shirt, your mug, what have you, give them a call in Grenada at 473-422-1011. That's 2 locations, New York and Grenada. It's Instaprint. You get your print in sometimes 1 hour or less. Give them a call, 473-422-1011 in Grenada. They're located inside of the Esplanade Mall, actually inside of the Ryde, because it's a partnership with Ryde and Instaprint. Get your t-shirt printed quickly. And for the final assembly, the guys, the young people in the final assembly, you could get your t-shirts printed right away. Right away, guys. Instaprint Grenada. And of course, they also stack blank t-shirts. If you want to get that, you could get it from Instaprint as well. New York City! Spice Mass launch, New York City, May 11th at Elton Place, 1130 Linwood Street, Brooklyn, New York. Early bird ticket, $40. I think that's sold out. I don't know. You could call and find out. Regular tickets, $50. Get it now. It is New York City launch, May 11th, New York. Don't miss out on this one, guys. Ryde e-bike, amazing race. Register now. $100 to register, guys. You could win up to $1,500. Cash and prizes. It's amazing race, guys. There are obstacles along the way. You use one of our e-bike, you get to the location, you collect 3 flags at designated areas, and you bring them back. You do that well, you win $1,500. Could you do it? Could you do it? If you could do it, come in and register inside the Esplanade Mall. Again, thank you to brother Anslem Clouden. Sorry for the bad lighting, guys. Our main light just went out mid-show, but we're, able to maintain still, nevertheless. All right, guys. Soul Vibes Radio, big up yourself. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for being a part of our program. For our senior executive producer there in New York, Lois JJ, big up yourself. Thank you guys. Catch you guys again tomorrow. Peace out. Good night.